Hey guys, welcome back to another video for RGR Football. My name is Daniel Harms, and we're going to go ahead and start with some of the fundamental basics that Andy Heck teaches for his offensive line. And this is from 2015. It's a zone, an inside zone to the right. So we're looking at a lot of the fundamental basics from the zone scheme that Andy Heck implements. And the very first thing that I want to look at right here is right now, and the direction that everyone steps in terms of the play. They all step play side, which is a pretty good indication of a zone type run. And just really quickly, we're going to start with the center and the left guard, and we're running what's called a slip and a scoop. It's essentially a double to the second level, and in this case, it's going to be a double from the center and the left guard, or the left guard takes over and the center takes the linebacker here. And the center is Zach Fulton. Left guard is Donald Stevenson, who's a converted tackle playing left guard in a pinch. You have LDT in his first season starting. We're going to kind of ignore the right tackle here because he's not going to be a part of the play and the outcome. And then Eric Fisher is over here at left tackle. Next to him is Travis Kelce. And this is a great example of, if you box out the right tackle, some of these inline basics that Andy Heck teaches. And like I said, this is the slip and scoop. So we're going to go ahead and go forward just a tad here, and you can see him, Fulton hand off the defensive tackle to Donald Stevenson so he can take over. And now one of the things we're going to look at, we're going to start here with this A-gap, the right A-gap, and LDT is currently manhandling his defensive tackle, and he's doing something what's called blocking on the angle that he's been found. The tackle is trying to get outside of LDT and get upfield. So what he's going to do, he's just going to block him out this to the right. And then the same thing's going to happen on this side with Eric Fisher. And since the play is to the right, you would think that he'd be trying to box out, but since he's trying to get inside to this B gap here in between the guard and the tackle and himself, I mean, he's going to just drive him on the angle that he found him. And Fulton does a great job getting to the second level. And all of this allows Charkandrick West to use his vision and try to find the best place to go about. And we're going to see a couple of different things here with the motions at the back around. So here's Eric Fisher. He's going to go ahead and continue to take him to the right. We see Fulton has done a great job of getting to the second level, and he's already got the linebacker under wraps. West now has the ball, and he can see this bubble right here is really what you're looking for in these zone schemes. And it allows him to just pick a hole and go from there. And so he's going to find his way back to the left because, Fisher is doing a great job of getting him down the line on that angle that he found him. Kelce is doing a good job here of blocking out this man here. And then just look at everyone's on a body, except for the tackle, which we aren't going to ignore. And I do think that West makes a bit of a mistake here. He probably could have gotten into the end zone, but still, this is just a great example of all these basics that he's being taught by Andy Heck, and Mac almost makes the play here because he's just such a great athlete. So yeah, we're gonna see all this block down, and a lot of this has to do with some of the guys they had on that offensive line in 2015. They wanted to run the football, and they were able to do that because they had guys that could run block and use their hips and getting their hips in really good position. Like right here, look at LDT. He's got really good hands inside, using his hips to what's called cracking the walnut, just kind of tightening everything underneath and then pushing forward, upward like that. So he's in a really good position. He's actually going to flatten this guy out, and then West is going to get into this huge hole, and obviously he's going to make a guy kind of miss a tackle, and then he's going to fall for about 6-yard gain. But yeah, this is just a really good visual representation of some of the basics that Andy Heck teaches and still teaches to this day for this offensive line. So I found a cool little play for you guys that brings everything that we've talked about into one full play. And it goes hand in hand with the scoop and slips, the zone blocking scheme, as well as the aggressive set pass blocking. And that has to do a lot with RPOs. And with Patrick Mahomes as the quarterback, we've seen a lot more RPO actions, and a lot of them tend to be throws. So when I was able to find a run play like this, it works better. So you can see the two sides of the offensive line that work together here. It's going to be, when we're looking at it, left center here to the right side, which is actually left guard and left tackle. And then the right guard and the right tackle are going to be aggressive set pass blocking. So we're going to have zone blocking scheme here, and then aggressive set pass blocking on these two defensive guys here. And it's really cool because you're going to see all of them step together in one direction from where they're at to the right. And that gives everyone obviously the idea of the zone blocking scheme. But then we're going to see both Schwartz and LDT here kind of stay in pass block set instead of getting up field. And now we have the double team here on the nose guard. Ideally, you like to see Stefan Wisniewski get a little bit down underneath him and drive him towards the center so that he can overtake that block and get to the second level. And now Fisher is going to block on, the angle that he found him and keep him going that way. The linebacker here is going to try to get around to this hole that he sees that Damian Williams has the possibility to get to. And Wisniewski's going to go ahead and come off of him and block that linebacker. And Williams does a really good job, actually, of running in between the tackles here and getting through those arm tackles for about a 12-yard gain. And that's really when it comes down to being able to find those smaller holes with a less powerful offensive line that the Chiefs boast. And that's exactly the kind of thing that I want to talk about a little bit. And it's kind of why they brought Clyde Edwards-Helaire in. He's a little bit smaller and more powerful in terms of running the football in between the tackles. Damian Williams is definitely more of a hit it kind of guy. He hits those holes or finds those outside spots and then gets upfield quickly. Clyde is definitely going to be able to get some of these holes that are opening up with the type of athletic offensive line that the Chiefs have. They're not going to necessarily open holes gaping all the time. So they do need a guy that can do this kind of stuff on a regular basis and work through these holes. And this is a really good job of second level manipulation, baiting the linebacker in to make the block easier for Stefan Wisniewski here. And then he can get through that hole and get about 12 yards on this play. So it's a really nice example of both that aggressive set pass blocking and the regular old zone blocking scheme that Andy Heck employs. All right, you've already seen the bit about empty protections in this offensive line and some of the basics when it comes to that. But we're going to go ahead and talk about the normal sets that the Chiefs implement for their pass protection sets. And a lot of it goes back to a legendary coach, Howard Mudd, and he believed that using aggressive pass sets and engaging first was critical in terms of throwing the defensive ends and defensive linemen off of their games a little bit, not just directly stepping backwards and allowing them to take it to you. Instead, step at them and then be more passive. It's what's called aggressive, passive, and aggressive. And we're going to focus on all of them because they all really use it. Mitch Morse does a really good job here, as does Fisher, and Schwartz has always done very good at this. And we're also going to see why the Chiefs prefer to use athletes, because in this aggressive pass set, like right here, everyone steps at their man. He steps in the direction of the rusher here. You can already see Fisher's leg here stepping at Ingram a little bit too wide, in my opinion, and that's why he's going to come inside. The tackle goes jab step toward Irving and then tries back around. And now we're going to see some of the recovery from Irving himself right there, and he comes back into that A gap. Morse does a great job of initiating contact here and then also helping inside. And then Fisher right here is going to get beat by the spin move, but he's going to come back around. And so that's really what we're talking about in terms of the athletes, because you're going to get beat in some of these aggressive sets. And Ingram moved him upfield a bit with that step a little bit too far out, in my opinion, when it comes to Fisher's here. But Morse does a great job right there of stepping to and initiating contact. And that can really throw off the pass rush set from a defensive tackle or even a defensive end. And this is what we're talking about when we're talking about aggressive and then passive and aggressive. And if you watch Schwartz here, he's really good at it. He's probably the best in the NFL when it comes to being aggressive in that first step and then waiting. And as soon as he gets inside, he knows what he's going to do. He makes contact, and then the defender has nowhere that he can go. LDT keeps his head on a swivel here and also helps right there. So he's walled off. Ingram's going to drive back around and get pushed into the pile. And this all allows Patrick Mahomes to sit back and really do what he wants to against a four-man rush. They all get piled up in there. So yeah, this is exactly why the Chiefs use a lot of that aggressive passive and aggressive pass set. I think it plays more to their athletic advantage in terms of recovery, and they definitely need that in the NFL.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.